Okay. Switch. There we go. Switch.
That's me. Yo.
Mama hung up.
Righto.
Okay, so how do I know?
Should be up.
Okay, no. Oh,
No.
live. Yep.
Show us the screen.
I can see it.
Can you show me? Oh, you're seeing it on the iPad.
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh, right. You can't show me the screen of the iPad because you're on it. All right. Talk to you soon. Check this out. Watch this transition. Whoa.
I can't even see it yet, Dad.
Okay. All right. Talk to you soon.
Hang on.
Bye. All right. I was just on the phone to my daughter there. She wanted to jump on the live stream. Okay. Now, today, Monday the 5th, we're back into the swing of things after the holidays. So, got the agenda folder. What to do. This is a book that I keep in my pocket and fill out every day. So I've been logging basically what I do through the day, any ideas I come up with, and like keep some customer details. I use ServiceMate to enter details into customer details into to keep like some data, and I can follow up quotes with these people and check in for leads and stuff in the future. But yeah, I keep a diary of ideas and what I do through the day in this. This is sort of what I'll run with for each live stream. Get info out of here and all the lessons of the day. So let's get into it, I guess. Today I did 3 jobs that were all pretty mediocre. There was a warranty inspection. So the company I work for does ducts warranty, and there was a warranty inspection for that this morning. Second job was a possible go back callback job, but it didn't end up being. I'll go into more detail with that soon. And the third job was another potential callback and also didn't end up being one. So kind of small repair jobs for those two. So for the warranty this morning, it was a leaking 170 and it was just under warranty. So it's a 9-year-old tank. The Prodigy 5 170s had a 10-year warranty, and it was like 2 months in warranty. So they got lucky with that, but it needed replacing, and we brought a temporary 50 just in case they wanted, because the 5 stars are sort of low. There's low stock everywhere for a 5-star. It's pretty hard to get a 5-star. You can get them from Bunnings, but we get them actually directly from the manufacturer for the warranties. And we brought a 50-litre temporary water heater in case they wanted hot water while they wait, which we do charge for that service. And the customer can decide if they want to go without or pay some money and have hot water that day. So basically, the warranties we charge the labour depending on the age of the warranty, but over 3 years the labour is still charged. Ducts won't cover the labour. So we charge the labour, and I've quoted for tempering, duo valve, pressure limiting valve, and the gas valve. So 4 valves on the water heater, and we replace all the copper and the fittings. We don't reuse anything. We prefer to do a better job with new fittings, and just have it done right. Then you don't have to have any problems in the future. So the warranty quote was $1,680, and the quote for the 50 was the temporary $550. So I was going to drain the broken tank, put in a temporary 50-litre plug-in while they waited, if they wanted that. So I offered them that, $550 for the temporary plus $1,680 for the warranty. So so I've done some sales training when I was, this is like early 20s now, so it's getting like 15 years ago now or something. And there's like a concept called anchoring, I guess. I don't know, whoever's watching this probably already knows. If you come in with a kind of a higher price on something, it makes the next price down look cheaper. So you're quoting say you're quoting a $315. That was locked in. I drained the tank, left, and that will be installed when the new tank comes in. So they're going to go without hot water for a couple of days, but they had already been without hot water, and they were happy to do that. But that was a pretty easy sale. He did have a couple of questions because he looked up on Bunnings website. The 5 stars like $13.50 from Bunnings, and they quote I think like $17.50 installed, which is peanuts. And I explained to him that's labour cost. That doesn't include valves. The job quality, I don't know. I've never really seen a top quality Bunnings job. I don't want to rock any boats on the Bunnings installers, but there's just not a lot of money in it. And I think the less you charge, the more you're going to rush, the lower the job quality is going to be. But either way, that price doesn't include valves. The Bunnings job prices don't include valves, and ours was comprehensive. So yeah, he was happy to go ahead with that. And second job, we had installed a water heater 6 months ago, $315 in the garage, all the valves, duo PLV, tempering valve, everything new. And she had no hot water this morning. She'd noticed it over the last 3 or 4 days. It was sort of getting colder and colder, and she's an old lady just by herself, so she barely uses much hot water at all. And I had gone into it thinking it would be an off-peak issue, and she was notified that if it was an off-peak issue, that there would just be a call-out fee. She was like, yep, that's fine. Ended up going out there, testing the element and thermostat. Everything was fine. Switch was fine at the switchboard, and sure enough, the off-peak was the issue. So the off-peak switch, you can test. Some of them you can actually, you're not supposed to, but you can turn them on, and while everything's on, you'll see the power being drawn. If you flick the off-peak switch on and the power starts to draw, pretty sure that it's the off-peak relay that's the issue. Like I test the switches, if there's any fuses, and the element and thermostat with a multimeter with all the power off. But you got to know how to check that. So this isn't a how-to thing, but you can switch the off-peak switch on, and if power starts being drawn, the chances that it's the off-peak switch is pretty high if the tank is quite new. So that ended up being the off-peak relay. Endeavour Energy came out today to do that. So I called Endeavour Energy for the lady, and they just asked for a few details. You can get them out, and they actually fix their off-peak relay for free because it's their property. So I had that, and then last job was low flow for a tank we put in about 2 years ago, and went out to Arcadia for that. I wasn't very sure what that'd be because, well, I had a couple of ideas. It's obviously some sort of valve, but there was a batch of pressure limiting valves that we bought, that we used, that were having trouble with flow issues, getting stuck, and that's what the issue was. So the PLV was replaced there, and it was chargeable because the valve was 2 years old. It has a 1 year warranty, so if it was less than a year old, it would have been replaced for free. I discounted the labour and the call out and labour, and charged the valve, and the bottom line for that came to 408. He's a really good customer. Was very happy to have that done. We always get out to him very quickly. We get out to every job quickly, but that's another thing. I didn't mention the off-peak relay issue. We charged 180 for that. That was a very cheap call-out fee and a cheap diagnosis fee. We could probably get more into that, but I think it needs a bit more prep over the phone for that. And I don't run the phones here, but at the company I work for. That was me for the day. Now, some things I learned. Oh, actually, sorry, not things I learned. Things that I thought about today. It's just a general passing thought. I'm always like trying to come up with ideas and strategies and whatnot. I thought if you had a tank that was, say, 5 years old with a 10-year warranty, or 7 years old, and it has an issue, you could attempt to sell a whole bunch, like all the parts that keep the water hot. So the tempering valve, or any issues that can happen. So there's so many valves and things on a water heater. If you say, we'll go with 315 electric, the most common tank. So tempering valve, element, thermostat, relief valve. They're like 4 pretty crucial parts. You got the duo and the PLV as well, so that's 6 parts altogether. All those parts generally only have a 1 year warranty. Now, I'm not really sure how this would work with like how the manufacturers of those parts would feel, but if you could, it doesn't really matter if you're the one that's covering it, but if you proposed or offered an extended warranty, if they replace all the parts on the water heater, then you know that you're pretty safe with a failure of any of the other parts in the future. You could offer an extended warranty on those parts. So instead of just replacing, say, an element is blown, you go there to service to say, okay, yeah, we'll replace the element, and you get a 1 year warranty. That's it. You could offer, we'll do all the possible parts that can go wrong with this thing. You don't have to worry about it instead of giving it a 1 year warranty, you could extend the warranty of all the parts to 3 or even 5, because the money you'd made on all those parts would cover what you'd have to pay if one of those parts went wrong in those 5 years, which is pretty unlikely. So Don't know if that made a lot of sense, but basically what I'm saying is if you can sell more, the risk of having to replace one of those parts for free, or even if you do replace one of those parts for free, it's paid off in the job that you did with all those parts. So it could be a good little money maker, like sales booster for jobs. Instead of getting piddly like $300 jobs, you can turn them into $1,200 jobs, and you know, it's a win-win. The customer gets a water heater that they don't have to worry about till it leaks, and you get much more profit per job. Okay, I think that'll do for now. We've kind of been going a while. Where are we? 16 minutes. Oh yeah, stats. YouTube stats. I lost a. Let's just do a little transition here. Lost a subscriber. I had 7. Here's my page. We're down to 6 subscribers. I don't know who that was or whether it's relevant, but 6 subscribers. What do we got? 8 views on that one. 1 view on that. 2 views on that. See if this collects any more views. That's what me going live now. I've got to figure out these thumbnails for this, or that one I didn't get the logo up for it, but that's that. So if you need anything or have any questions, if you're a plumber, get in touch. My details are all here on websites and all the social media platforms. If you got any questions or you know anyone that would be interested in this, let them know. Happy to chat to anyone. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, I reckon. See you guys.